days on Bainbridge Island, Washington, Filipino-Americans were inspired by their Bayanihan spirit to welcome individuals of all sorts into their festivities and their community, and even into their families. Changes wrought by World War II pushed the Bayanihan spirit to new limits. Filipino farmers cared for the farms of evacuated Japanese and also intermarried with Native Americans who came south from Canada as berry pickers. Myrna Nelson, a native of the Philippines, began inviting individuals of various cultures to participate in the traditional Simbang Gabi celebration at Saint Cecilia Catholic Church.
And in the 17th century, the Misa de Gallo or Simbang Gabi became a Filipino spiritual tradition.
Lạy Thiên Chúa là Cha, Caritas Liwi Islam
Kailan aumenta tarawih, nadanie ludzkiego życia.
为那些身体不好
Que ellos puedan responder
que han sufrido o han visto
at saan mang dako ng
Пусть они чувствуют себя
The Bayanihan spirit derives from the Christian commandment to love one another. Teddy Balagot speaks of the faith life of older Filipino-Americans on Bainbridge.
It's a Filipino-Hispanic custom where they do the novena, or 9 days of rosary. And so my aunt just told me very quietly, I've done the novena for your mother-in-law, and I'm going to have the 40-day Mass. And that's a woman of faith.
The Bayanihan spirit includes not only faith and love, but also celebration. And feasts. The majority of Filipinos on Bainbridge Island attend Saint Cecilia Catholic Church. The Bayanihan spirit was alive at this dinner featuring Vietnamese, Chinese, Japanese, and Filipino food. And when there is such a community feast, its guiding light is bound to be Rudy Ramondo, president of the Bainbridge Island Filipino-American community. On this occasion, enveloped in the warmth of the Bayanihan spirit, a number of individuals shared their thoughts about their lives on Bainbridge and their experiences in coming here. The people we spoke with had lived some portion of their lives in Asia before coming to Bainbridge.
I was born in Vietnam, and I came to the United States back in 1975 after the war, and I've been in the United States for 33 years now.
I have been living in Vietnam since I was born until 1997. I left Vietnam.
After I finished grad school, my wife and I, we moved to Japan, and we lived in the Tokyo region and then the central part of Japan.
Met Daniel, and eventually I married him. And we lived in Japan for a while and moved to New Zealand once. And then when Emily was finishing elementary school, we decided to move to here. It's a good time to move.
We asked, how did you choose this island as your home?
I've been on Bainbridge for about 6 years now. And when I first came out here to visit my sister who was living here at the time, I could not believe how beautiful this area is. It's just unbelievable. Everything I heard about it, I'm thinking rain, rain, rain. But it's just absolutely beautiful. No wonder it's called the Evergreen State.
And just we happened to be in Bainbridge, and I thought, this is it. Just my instinct said, this is it. So we decided to live here. And they actually, you know, this is the island for Japanese before the World War II. They're here and make a strawberry, and then I feel like, I don't know, my ancestor called me or something like that. I just didn't know. And then I was surprised there are lots of Japanese, even in a small, island. So I feel comfortable here.
When the communists took over our country and my family escaped to the state, but I wanted to stay at home, to stay in my country to help the poor. But after a few years, and the bishop asked me to go to join my families. I came to the state in 1997. I love this country, and I love the children here, especially at Saint Cecilia. They are so nice to me.
We've been here now 6 years. There are a lot of Japanese, two different kinds of Japanese though. The Japanese who are here second, third generation, so their parents came, grandparents came in the teens or the 20s, in the early part of the 20th century. So they're generally speaking third generation now. And they're very much assimilated into American society, very much so. They intermarry with white people and so on and so forth. Many of them do anyway. And then there's the other set of Japanese who are, generally speaking, first generation. The vast majority of them, in my experience, are wives of American sailors, generally connected to the base, either the shipyard or to the submarine base at Bangor.
The interplay of East and West produces unique perspectives. Naomi Luzzo speaks about being an American in Japan.
Japan is very nice in many ways, in that it's very well organized, it's clean, it's safe, it's expensive, it's very modern. You don't have to deal with the problems of third world countries. Like, can you drink the water, for example? You can drink the water anywhere in Japan. You can buy anything that you want in Japan. You're not lacking for anything. But Japan is very, very difficult for Americans especially to live in the sense that the Japanese as a people, as a race, expect everybody who's there, whether they're Japanese or not, they expect everybody who lives in the country to be a square peg in a square hole. There's no such thing as being a square peg in a round hole. If you're a square peg, let's say everybody's round and you're a square, they force you to be square. There's an old saying in Japan that the outstanding nail gets pounded in. So if you think about your deck and there's a nail on the deck, the outstanding nail, the nail that sticks up, gets pounded in. And it's very much that kind of a culture. There is no disparity. There is uniformity in the society. And that's hard for Americans, because Americans are raised to be individuals. Individuals with quotation marks. And Japan does not appreciate individuals. They want everybody to mold into a certain type of person. So the company man, or the social person, it can be very, very stressful at times, especially when you're living in a big city like Tokyo, where the entire metropolis is, I don't know, 30 million people, 35 million people, something like that. Lots of people in a small area, and they're all expected to generally behave in the same way. It can be very stressful at times. It really can.
Naomi Luzzo's experience is one shared by others, feeling the gulf between the new immigrant and those of similar ancestry who are Americanized.
I'm Japanese, and there are lots of Japanese Americans. So not really I don't say we are friendly. We are friendly, but kind of different. I speak Japanese among Japanese friends, and Japanese Americans, those people, their language is English, and they have kind of different community.
The U.S. Navy rescued Thuy Nguyen and her family from the sea.
In 1975, when the fall of Saigon, we were very blessed to have the resources. When I say resources, my family had boats to take our family out to sea. And I don't recall how long, but within a day or two, we were rescued by the United States naval ship, and we were in Guam for about approximately 2 months. And we were sponsored by a wonderful Catholic community in Syracuse, New York, and of all places, going from tropical to Syracuse, New York.
Sister Anna Nguyen shares her impressions of Bainbridge children and speaks of the origin of her vocation to serve the poor.
I think that the children here in America, they have everything they want. and they need. And they are very lucky to be born in this country. But I want them to understand that they don't have to take everything for granted. And they need to think over another country to be more open to the poor children in different parts of the world, you know. And everything they have now, they need to appreciate. I want to tell them, I want to educate them in that way. You know, my vocation came from the poor. And my families, we belong to a middle class because my father worked with the French embassy, in the embassy in North Vietnam. So we have everything we need. But each time, our family, we have a custom to go to the restaurant in Vietnam every weekend. And each time, after eating, I saw some poor children were under the table waiting for us. And then when we left, they took the leftover and ate it. So it moved my heart. And I wanted to be a nun, to take care of them, and to be one of them. So it moved my heart, and I wanted to be a nun, to take care of them, and to be one of them. That's why I want to be a nun. There's so poverty in Vietnam, especially the children are so dear to my heart. They are innocent. So we need to take care of them. That's the reason why I want to be a nun.
We asked our friends to talk about the foods served at that day's dinner.
Tonight I am cooking egg rolls and some shrimp skewer.
Well, when I was asked to cook, I thought, wow, it must be sushi. And the sushi I made today was really authentic, traditional. It's the sushi like family make when it's special. But nothing fancy actually, just the egg and then vegetable. But that's the thing. All the people when gather make it and eat as with family. So no fish. It's vegetarian, but it's kind of special.
There's a vast range of Japanese food, and it's not just the individual dishes. There are vast, absolute subsets of Japanese cuisine. They're completely different from other subsets, and many of them are not well known in the States. So the teriyaki thing is well known now. Sushi has become very popular here. No, I can't name many other things. The rice bowl thing is fairly well known to some Americans, but that's just 3 subsets of Japanese cuisine, and there are probably another 10 or 15 to go. There's a huge range of Japanese cuisine that many people have absolutely no idea about. So there's a lot out there yet to discover. And most of well, even the Japanese restaurants here in the States don't generally serve that kind of food. So the Japanese who are here either pine for it, long for it, and eat it when they go home, or they cook it at home. And the funny thing about Japanese cuisine is there's a lot of Japanese cuisine that's not made at home, that can only be eaten in specialized restaurants. And unless you have that kind of restaurant here, you simply can't get a hold of it.
If anybody needs help, they band together like they did way back in the 50s and 60s, where if anybody needed to plant berries or build a barn or build a house, they would team up together and help each other out, and that's part of the Bayanihan spirit.